Hello guys! Welcome back to Swords and Stitches. Today, I'm getting kind of a Sonic the Hedgehog, Lord of the Rings feel, you know? What's up, Aaron?
Oh, hey, bro.
Nice rings.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Wanna make rings today?
Yeah.
Sick, let's do it.
So here's what we're gonna need. Some coins, a punch and die set, a ring mandrel, a hammer, a nylon hammer, Schedule 40 PVC, needle nose pliers, and a propane torch.
So today we're going to be making this ring. Or basically just, any form of this ring. We're going to make a ring out of a coin. So Aaron, where are some places that you could find a really cool coin to make a ring out of?
Well, I got this from an arcade. So
Right.
you could always go to an arcade.
I have some euros and some pounds from England. So if you go traveling somewhere and you bring currency back, then you could make a cool ring out of that as a souvenir.
You can get them from banks.
Banks, right? Between your couch cushions,
Yeah.
maybe.
Other people's pockets.
Right? Tip jars.
Tip jars. Homeless people usually have coins.
Right? Wishing wells.
Wishing wells, another good place for coins.
Behind your grandson's ear, perhaps. Did you have that back there the whole time for that gag?
Grandson. So different coins are going to be made of different metals. Quarters, American quarters after 1964 are made of mostly nickel and copper. So they're a little bit harder than the pre-1964 quarters, which are made of mostly silver. Arcade tokens are usually going to be made of your cheaper metals like aluminum or tin, sometimes copper, and they're going to be a little bit easier to work with because the metals tend to be kind of soft. We've also got some euros here that you brought.
No. Euros are made of Nordic gold, which is apparently very hard to melt. So we'll see how easy or hard that is to work with.
Yeah, gold is traditionally thought of as being a soft metal, so, but I don't know, maybe the alloy's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Still, this will be a pretty sweet looking ring, I think.
All right, that's what I know.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So now we get to punch the hole in our coin. The coin that I am going to use today is the Family Arcade game token that we have. And the reason I like this one is once I punch the hole in the center, I'll still have Family Arcade around the sides. Now, something you need to keep in mind when you're choosing your coin is what's on the outside, because that's going to be the part that's going to be on the outside of your ring, not the inside. So if you have a really cool thing in the center, like say you have a coin that has a cool ship on it, don't use that coin because the ship is going to be gone once you punch this hole, right? Okay, let's do it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the coin, and we've got this little guy that comes with your set. You're going to place that inside of there, but you need to line it up perfectly, and it's a little bit difficult to do. So what Aaron likes to do, would you like to turn me off a little bit of tape?
That was my phone, sorry.
Oh, it's all good. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of tape, and we're going to make a little handle like this, so that we can line it up pretty easily. Just slip it back in there and then be like, all right, where's center? Right there? Perfect. So now we're gonna figure out what size we need. I'm gonna use 7/16 because it's a little bit smaller than my finger, so I think that it's gonna work really well in order to make a ring for me. And remember, flat side is what you put down, beveled side is what you hammer. So then we slip this guy in here, and then we take the hammer,
Don't hammer, sir.
and we hammer a hole into it. But first, let me take a safety.
There we go. All right. So there's the other half of there's the part we punched out. Take that coin, and then push that through. Oh, sometimes it gets stuck and you have to use another. There we go.
Woo!
And there's our coin. Family Aid.
Did it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All right, so we actually punched 2 different sizes. This is the one that I did, the 7/16, and this is 1/2 inch, which Aaron did. And we realized 7/16 unfortunately doesn't fit on a ring mandrel, which is the next part of the process, is putting it on the mandrel and then sizing it to whatever size it needs to be.
But that's okay, because we've got a doming block, and
boop.
you just drop it into. It's got these little like I don't know, indentions, and then you find the corresponding. I don't know what these are called, balls.
The corresponding ball.
The corresponding ball, and then you place your disc in.
So you hammer it and then it stretches out the hole. It domes it so everything is stretched a bit.
Here,
it'll fit on here better. Is that the idea?
Before I do yours, I'll show you what happens to. I don't know. I'll just use this. Pump it up arcade token.
Okay.
This is the basic idea of what's going to happen with the doming block. So you're putting it in this hole, and then you put this ball in there, and then you basically, it's going to get loud. You basically hammer it into this dome, and what you're left with is a
discus.
Little discus, right? So to make this bigger, what we do, find the appropriate size hole. Oh yeah, you want your always wear protection.
Where's our protection? Where are mine?
There's one.
I think these are mine. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool.
I think,
So now. Oh yeah.
fit. And then if it almost fits, I think we can kind of hammer this down.
Yeah, for sure. Also, if you don't have a doming kit at home, which I'm sure many of you don't, you can also just take a file and some patience and just file at the sides and just keep trying it and see whether or not it fits. That was the original plan, and then Aaron was like, I have a doming kit, so we figured we'd show you how to do it with a doming kit.
You know, or you could make your fingers bigger. Just make bigger rings.
You could, yeah.
If you know.
Yeah, just get little swole fingers.
So we're back on the floor now because the table doesn't make a very good anvil, so the cement floor
Which is what most jewelers use, by the way.
But the concrete floor is really good for hammering on. So what we're gonna do is take our domed ring, and it still doesn't quite squeeze down. We can put it on the floor and
put it in our safety.
and hammer it on.
Oh, perfect. Sick.
And now we're ready for stage 2.
Okay, what's stage 2?
So stage 2, what you want to do is press the basically this outer part, which says Family Arcade, is gonna wrap down this ring. So I just made this piece of I don't know, this is like PVC pipe, Schedule 40. You put a cap. I saw a guy on YouTube do this. Basically, you just put it on here, and then you just hammer it down.
Oh,
And then you see that
look
like
at that.
this is a little bit uneven, so you try to favor this side.
What size is it at?
It is now at a
2.5?
2.5.
Cool.
So I don't know.
I think I'm a 5. That's what I'm aiming for right now.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Oh
we're breaking
no!
it. How did that happen?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I've never made a Family Arcade token. These might be too small. Okay, well let's see if we can save this. So one thing we can try is if we heat up the metal, we're probably not going to be able to melt it back together. But when you're working with metal, I found if you heat it up, I think the term is annealing, and it kind of, even after you cool it, the metal stays soft and workable. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Soft and workable.
Wow. That's oh shit. Okay. So I don't know. I think this might be a softer metal. This Family Arcade might be tin, so we may not be able to use it. Whoa, look at that.
Oh, that looks so cool. Look at all that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I wonder what kind of metal this was.
It looks like tin, right?
Is it tin?
I think so.
Okay, so we may have to choose a different token then.
Rewind!
Rewind.
Okay, so we got back to where we needed to be with this guy. The other coin real busted, so we're using a new coin. And remember the coin I was saying would have like a beautiful ship on it? Maybe you shouldn't use it because you want to preserve the ship. We decided to use the ship coin. So this is a half penny from England, and it's beautiful because I think it's made of copper.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
got a
like
lot
copper.
of really greeny tones in it.
And it's
so
gonna
far
say
it's
half
working
penny
well.
around the outside.
There's half penny right there, and then some Latin. But now it's time to anneal it.
Yeah. So we've been working this coin for a little bit, and as you're working the coin, you'll find if you take a blowtorch and heat it up, and then cool it, it becomes a little bit easier to work with. So for copper coins,
Ooh,
generally.
look at the green!
Oh, wow.
Woo! Beautiful!
Oh, that's how you know it's copper, yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So for copper coins, I think you can kind of heat it up until it's almost glowing, and it still won't melt.
Oh, yeah, it's starting to glow.
There we go.
Whoa, that's crazy. Dude, that's so cool.
And then once it gets to that point,
Throw it in the water?
yeah, you can plunge it in the water.
Whoa. Oh man, and now like all of the patina has burned off.
Oh, that's kind of
Oh, that's crazy. Look at that.
wow. I'm sure there's like a scientific explanation for this.
We just don't know it.
We just don't know it. So what you gotta do is take your coin. Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow, so fantastic.
And then you can put it back on the. You can start working on it again. So now what you want to start doing is pressing these sides down the cone.
Okay, so I start using that.
So yeah, go ahead and use the nylon hammer.
Okay.
The reason you want to use a nylon hammer as opposed to the metal hammer is because the nylon hammer is going to deform the metal much faster. Yeah, eventually, once you get it kind of into that weird hat shape, you want to turn it over.
This?
Yeah, and then hammer it kind of up.
Oh,
a bit.
I see. Okay, and then start doing some of this.
So when you're kind of working it, you can look down the mandrel and kind of see the edges, like where you need to work it. So it looks like here, this is kind of like good, and then this kind of needs to be hammered down a little bit. So you kind of hammer it, and then turn it, hammer it a little bit more. It's kind of like a race because every time you deform the ring, it moves further down the mandrel. So you kind of like have to get a gauge for like where you start and where it finishes, where it's gonna finish, which I still haven't quite figured out myself.
Yeah, man, it's like
Is it like too big for your thumb now?
it's not too, it's like exactly right for my thumb.
Oh.
So now I'm like scared to keep working with
You're
it.
like, oh really? You're like, let's. That looks pretty good. Maybe we could. Oh, it's a little bit deformed.
It's still deformed, yeah. Still not quite there.
Let's see. Maybe we can. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Just. This ring is what is this? It's the smallest part, so it's at like 8 and.
It
8
got
and a half.
way bigger.
It got a little bigger, but that's okay. Now,
Is that because of the annealing process? Just makes it so that.
It's basically, I think anytime you start hammering to make the ring, like I watched one guy on YouTube and he says basically a race against time because every time you hammer this ring to smooth it out and make it rounder, it's gonna move down the mandrel and get bigger. So I guess if you're a really experienced jeweler, you know how big to cut the hole, and then you know roughly
How much distance you need to make it perfect. Yeah.
So
that makes
like
sense.
probably at the beginning when we were hammering the PVC on there, should have maybe started flattening it a little bit earlier.
Right.
I don't know.
At like even 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something that you get with experience, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And this is only like maybe the 4th ring that I watched somebody make. So, why don't you tell us about the next step?
Next step is sanding it, yes?
Yes.
You're gonna wanna wear a mask because you're gonna get some metally bits in the air. It's the same as remember when I was saying, oh, if you don't have the like doming kit, you could do one of these. This will also make it so that there's just metal shavings that you could possibly breathe in, so be careful. But yeah, so we're gonna sand it. Okay, so what am I doing?
So basically what you want to do is, this is like the sharp edge right here that we cut with the punch and die.
Right.
So usually I'll just take the coin and kind of put it on the thing and do a little twisty deal. Yeah.
Some of this.
Yeah. Some of that. Can you still read halfpenny on there?
Yeah. Barely.
Yeah. Huh, it's a shame about the Family Arcade tokens.
Yeah. It would have been perfect for it.
This is a nice ring. It's a pretty sick ring, bro.
I love the color. I love the color a lot.
It's great. And it still says halfpenny.
Yeah, you can still read halfpenny on it. It fits my thumb. Although that wasn't the original intent, it fits my thumb, so.
So what did we learn?
We learned that the type of metal is very important.
Oh yeah. If you start with something like, I guess this Family Arcade token was made of tin, it looks like, which has, I think the term is ductility. The ductility of tin is much lower, so it's not able to be deformed as much before it breaks. So you want to look for metals that have higher ductility. I'm guessing like copper.
Right.
Or nickel, maybe.
We also learned that it is a race against time with the mandrel.
Yeah.
That you need to be planning ahead to expect the ring to slip further and further and further down and become a bigger and bigger and bigger ring. So like start pounding it out like at least 2 sizes ahead, maybe even 3 sizes ahead, depending.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing is most jewelers I think have anvils. Tables that are wobbly are probably not the best thing to be pounding metal on because the table absorbs a lot of the impact and it doesn't really go into deforming the metal for you.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else?
Friendship is magical.
Yes,
And
it is.
Make a sick ring.
Make a sick ring and show it to us.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any weird coins, or actually I really like these half pennies. If there's anybody out there who wants to trade me a bunch of half pennies for a bunch of American quarters or American pennies, let me know in the comments.
Hey, Aaron, I think that we should try doing the